Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am bringing you what I believe the most 5 important tips are if you are starting student teaching in 2021. So if you are interested in finding out these tips, then just go ahead and keep watching. Say it out loud, spill the truth. Tell me how I'm gonna get. All right, so you're probably wondering, who is this girl? Why should I listen to her when it comes to student teaching right now? You have so many things on your plate. You are searching for videos that are literally just gonna lay it out for you clear. Trust me, I know what you're thinking because I was in your place a little over a year ago. I am currently a 5th grade teacher, first year in Wisconsin, and honestly, this is not the first year teaching experience that I ever had for myself. Pictured or laid out has been super crazy, but I promise you, having been in that situation that you're about to go into and having taught right now, smack dab in the middle of a pandemic, I have what I believe to be the 5 most important tips going into student teaching. So tip number 1, stay on top of your assignments. My college experience, I student taught and had to do something called the EdTPA. I know right now, because we're in a pandemic, my school is no longer requiring it for licensing applicants. And so if your school is still requiring you to do some sort of coursework, I highly recommend that you stay on top of the coursework. I was in a unique position where I started student teaching in July of 2019. Yeah, I started student teaching in July of 2019, and the rest of the people in my cohort weren't starting until September. So I had a couple of months ahead of the class to get started. And so I really made sure to stick with those EdTPA tasks and really try to get ahead on my lessons and any planning that I was able to do. So if you know that you're gonna have coursework on top of your actual student teaching practicum, I really recommend investing in a planner, or if you're a digital planner, getting yourself set up to have a set assignment day, because as soon as you jump into student teaching, you are literally jumping into what feels like the actual workforce. I swear it's like a simulation. 40+ hours of teaching, of working, of prepping, of you know, being in this career, except you are practicing. So I really recommend that you get a good schedule going to where your coursework is factored in there and you're getting done what you need to get done in that sense. Tip number 2, on top of that coursework, I did mention staying organized, and so that's going to be my biggest tip here. Stay organized, whether it be with your Google Drive settings, whether it be having a binder to keep everything in with labeled tabs. If you're not type A like me, this is going to be crucial. Staying organized is one of the most important parts of your student teaching experience, because it allows you to have all of those artifacts and that important information all in one place for you to look back on. I also highly recommend making sure that you're keeping some of those artifacts from your experience, because if you end up in a position next year with a teaching job that really resembles your student teaching experience, you may be able to reuse some of those artifacts. Tip number 3, dress to impress. Student teaching is essentially a job. You are reporting to a school every single day as a normal teacher would, and dressing the part is just as important to gaining students' respect. Right now, as you're coming in, they're probably looking at you as a teenager, or somebody who is younger than their teacher, or somebody who is kind of almost close to their age level, especially if you're in middle school or high school. So making sure that you are dressing the part and dressing like the job that you are essentially in is so important. And there is a chance that you could be student teaching at a school that may have a position open for you, and having some of that professionalism in your dress code and in the way that you interact with your coworkers and things like that is something that will make you stick out. Number 4, don't be afraid to share your ideas. In my first teaching experience, student teaching experience, my cooperating teacher was amazing. At the end, I actually ended up asking her to be my mentor because she made me feel so comfortable in her classroom. She let me have so much freedom, both creatively and intellectually, to play out my student teaching experience as it would have been my own classroom. She let me set up a lot of things. She let me try out new ideas that I had, and a lot of that is because I shared those ideas with her. We kept an open line of communication, and I was really able to invest my ideas into my cooperating teacher, and she reciprocated that investment to me. So being able to harvest and create a space where you are really in sharing those ideas that you have is crucial to being successful in your student teaching experience. Tip number 5, ask a lot of questions. So going back to that open line of communication and making sure that you are constantly talking with your cooperating teacher and your team of teachers and the people around you, you really need to understand that this student teaching experience is time for you to gain knowledge for when it's your time to be in your own classroom. There is no such thing as a stupid question. And I know that there's so many people who would say otherwise, but listen, your student teaching experience is practice for you to be in your own classroom. So ask every single question you have, even if it is as dumb, or what you think is dumb as, does it really matter if they're capitalizing words in the middle of a sentence, blah blah blah. You know, I just feel like in my own student teaching experience, I was asking so many questions that I feel like now, being in my own classroom, because I had that clarification with my mentor teacher, I was able to be more successful and more comfortable and more confident when it was my time to actually be in that teaching position. And I actually have a bonus tip for you. So I know this video is 5 tips, but I really just wanted to add this last tip in. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much. And here's a little bonus tip for you. Prioritize your mental health. If that is the only thing you walk away from this video, it's that you need to prioritize your mental health. Student teaching is so draining, it's so taxing, and in most situations, mine included, it is not a paid position. It's part of school, it's part of your credits, it's part of those graduation requirements. So really making sure that you are not overworking yourself to the point when you feel like you're gonna have a mental breakdown every day is so important. Make sure you're taking time for you, as hard as it is. And I'm telling you, I learned this lesson as a first-year teacher, so please listen to me and believe me when I say this. Leave your work at work if you can. You're gonna wanna be taking everything home because you're so excited and you want to do this and you want to grade this, but you really need to take those nights to yourself. You need to take the weekend for yourself, and you really need to be your best self so that you can show up in the classroom as your best self. Alright guys, so those are what I believe to be the 5 most important tips to be successful in your student teaching experience. If you liked this video and want to see more teaching related sit down videos, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment if you have any other video suggestions. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside.